This week was a very busy week at Bill Capitol. Both Aaron and I were there pounding the pavement repeatedly all week. But the big news highlights. First off, the governor did release his supplemental budget. There is an action article written by Todd Bergstrom explaining exactly what it means for nursing facilities. Short story, there's $25 million in there, and it doesn't look anything like the type of system we proposed. But it's raising the floor. At least there's $25 million in there. The conversation afterwards, he said he is open to spending more. The Speaker of the House, Speaker Kurt Daudt, was quoted as saying, "I would like to spend around $160 million on nursing facilities." We'll see what $160 million actually means when they come out with their budget bill. But it's good to be in the conversation, and it's good to have numbers floating around that are higher numbers. Second, this was deadline week. Today is deadline day. In about 2 minutes, I'm going to run back over to the Capitol to watch all our bills pass the first deadline. The bills we have been working on this week, our payment bill, which is the big payment bill, the only $200 million payment bill, is moving in the House this afternoon, or hopefully this morning actually, if they move it up. Meaning it will make deadline and it will be referred on out of the Policy Committee into the Finance Committee. The 5% for waivers bill passed out of the Adult Aging Committee, which was its Policy Committee, and onto the Finance Committee this week as well. The workforce bill has met deadlines and continues to move forward. That has been worked on in both the House and the Senate. I believe it had 2 House stops this week and 1 Senate stop this week, all of which passed it in its current form with some minor tweaks. It continues to move forward. The vaccination study bill had its policy hearing in both the House and the Senate, and I believe it continues to move forward. The consumer post-acute disclosure bill had a hearing and will be moving forward and is meeting the deadlines. The size and setting change, our own member Chuck Peterson from Clare Housing testified in the committee this week. It has moved forward as well in its policy stop. Finally, last night there were GRH changes requirements that we were negotiating out, or in, depending on your perspective, I suppose. That will be moving forward and has met deadline. That is included in a couple different bills. Next week is second deadline week, and we will have to get more bills out of committees and moving along in the process. But the bigger news is what we are told is that next week targets will be released. I believe that internally both the House and the Senate have been having discussions about targets. They will be releasing them publicly next week. For those who don't know, targets are the way that they allocate their money internally, so the Health and Human Services Finance Committee will get assigned a certain amount of money that it gets to spend, and then the chair gets to determine how that money gets spent. So what we hope for in both the House and the Senate is what we call a good target for Health and Human Services, or specifically a good target for our nursing facility payment or our 5% payment bills. That is this week's Inside Scoop. Tune in next week where we'll have even more information, hopefully good information, about the targets and what spending looks like. Thank you for watching.
Tie your shoes before you speak.
Now I'm